the crazy, outrageous text messages that have been exposed in Virginia, written by the man who's running for Attorney General of Virginia.
Yeah. Jay Jones
said that he wished that his Republican colleague took two to the head and that his children were killed.
Yeah, this is serious. This is actually, there's nothing to joke about. The fact that the leading candidate for governor, Abigail Spangen, whatever her name is, the fact that she stood on a stage last week with Winsome Sears, and Winsome pleaded with her, can't you condemn this? Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
Anyone who's listening to this or watching this, please go to YouTube, watch this. Winsome Sears did a masterful job of trying to actually talk to her as a woman, as a mother. Like, wouldn't you be outraged if someone had said this about you and your children?
Right.
Your 3 children? Abigail? And she would not look at her, and she would not say a word. I hope they run that ad. They have to just run it daily, multiple times, all the way to the election. It just shows a level of unfeeling. And I was thinking about this, and I know this is not true for the majority of Democrats, but the Democrats are becoming the demonic death cult.
Well, I mean,
there are people in the party that want people dead.
Right.
And it's unfathomable. You can't have a viable party and try to appeal to the middle of America, which is God-fearing, gun-toting, whatever you want to say, Barack Obama, and have a viable future.
Just that exchange was stunning in how inhuman Abigail was. It is not a human reaction to stare stone-faced, straightforward.
She just kept looking down at her notes.
And to just ignore a legitimate question from your opponent. I mean,
Winsome was earnest. Like, when I listened to it,
she wasn't trying to be caustic.
She was trying to be caustic. She wasn't trying to be. It wasn't a gotcha question. It was actually a woman trying to appeal to another woman as mothers and saying, how can you not condemn this? And how can you not, in the clearest terms, not condemn something like this?
What's crazy about it,
these are our colleagues, these are our friends. What are you doing?
What's crazy to me about it is that I don't know whether Winsome Sears was doing this. I mean, I know that she was truly perplexed as to why Abigail hadn't condemned this, which is why she was asking the question. What I don't think she was thinking through was that had Abigail engaged in that discussion and condemned that would have been a lifeline. She would have been back on top in the polls and win the race.
And now she's in free fall.
Because people would have said, oh, okay, well, she's at least smart enough to recognize that this is not okay. And she's willing to call this out. But the fact that she reacted the way that she did with silence and ignoring her and just looking stone-faced, it wasn't a gotcha moment, but it became a gotcha moment because she created a gotcha moment.
Yeah. It's one of those things. I mean, you've been in campaigns long enough that you can't script. No. You don't know what's going to happen. It's completely unscripted. I mean, it didn't sound scripted at all. Other than the fact that she was going to ask her these questions, maybe. And the fact that Abigail just sat there and stood, like, looked at her sheet, wouldn't even look at the camera, like in shame.
Yeah.
And I heard about some focus group polling that was being done at that time with students, and where the vast majority of students were looking to vote for Abigail, and they were dumbfounded and perplexed. They couldn't believe it. It just made her. It creates, again, like, this fringe of the Democratic Party. I'm not going to paint with a full brush. There's a fringe that's a death cult.
Yeah.
They want their opponents dead. And I don't believe that she's part of that, but she just wrapped herself in that.
I mean,
by not condemning something that is so heinous for him to even. Jay Jones, what a complete total slime bucket. Just a horrible excuse for a human being. After everything we've seen the last year with the assassination of the president twice, attempted assassination of the president twice, and then the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and these Democrats haven't figured it out. Like, you need to get on board with and figuring out this political violence question on your party, because it isn't happening on our side.
Right.
It's, we have prayer vigils and light candles and walk around. Your people, burn down buildings and light fire to businesses and try to kill other people.
Yeah.
This is nuts.
It is literally astounding that this guy was an elected official sending these kinds of texts and wants to be the attorney general.
Oh my gosh.
The attorney general, the top law enforcement officer in the state of Virginia, and he wants his political opponents to be shot.
Well, and then you wrap that all up with the whole, men and women sports issue that is dominating Northern Virginia, dominating Loudoun County. We have a good friend, John Desser, and his kids are in schools there, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Jay Jones would open that all up, and parents would be, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you're going to be outraged.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they finally made some progress in putting a stamp to it. In fact, there's some new polling coming out that young people identify themselves as non-binary or whatever, is declining rapidly.
It's off a cliff.
So the social contagion
has broken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
it is.
Lord.
I mean,
there's generally gender dysphoria, which is a severe mental issue, but then there's the social contagion that we were all wrapped up in.
You saw a huge spike in people identifying as transgender, and then all of a sudden, it's in the last 2 years, it's just gone down a cliff.
Yeah, I think the tipping point really was the whole men and women sports thing. Yeah. I think more parents stood up and said, absolutely not. No way is my daughter, and it's mostly men trying to participate in women's sports, going to be participating in this sport. We'll just forfeit.
Yeah.
There's been tons of forfeits all over the country.
Well, and I think it was.
And rightfully so.
It was, I actually give J.K. Rowling a lot of credit.
Yeah.
Because she has been steadfast
and Matt Walsh.
with the amount of she has just taken it from all sides. It has been,
and she's
such
still
a
standing,
and she is staying firm. And she's not saying that you can't be trans. She's not saying it's not a legitimate choice. She's saying that doing this with minors is dangerous.
Oh, it's horrible.
And then allowing trans people to come
grooming
into women's spaces. I mean, that her example in Great Britain, where you have these safe havens for rape victims, that they were then allowing men to go into.
Oh yeah,
it's like,
listen,
what in the world?
We should do an entire podcast about the UK.
Oh,
we need to get somebody on here that
might need a whole series.
And like the free speech issues. I mean, the fact that people are being arrested, praying in silent, on the street. The entire grooming gangs thing in Scotland, which is unbelievable. The immigration issues in the UK. I mean, there's people who are just. I'm glad it's now getting the attention that it deserves, but that attention is a warning to our own country.
Right.
And hopefully we've turned the corner on some of these issues.